Hey everyone, Kai here, and welcome to my build guide for my Big Blast Sonic Moze. Been having a ton of fun with this little build I made. I wanted to try something new and share the build with the people. So, let's get into it. I'll break down my skills first. So to start with, we got 5 points in a cloud of ledge so that you're not consuming ammo and doing little bits of incendiary damage, redistribution to get your ammo back, scrappy for weapon damage, Russian offensive for mobility as well as lifesteal, scorching RPMs for critical hit damage and iron bear damage, iron bank because of that glorious mag size, specialist bear so that you can do more damage in iron bear if you have the same weapon equipped on both arms, some for the road so you have infinite ammo when you exit iron bear, and 1 point into click click. Now some people would wonder, why don't you have any points into stoke the embers? I chose click click over stoke the embers because there's some Mayhem 10 modifiers that'll really mess you up if you have incendiary damage that will just nullify your incendiary damage. So it's better to have gun damage instead of incendiary so that you have more options when you're scrolling through Mayhem 10 modifiers. If you don't have a problem and you want to use your incendiary damage, then by all means put that point into stoke the embers if you're willing to re-roll enough for it. But I'm just putting the point into click click for the purpose of making it accessible. And lastly, 1 point into forge for that good old ammo regen. Moving on to the blue tree, we got 3 points into deadlines for that fuel conservation, grizzled so that when you kill people, you get your iron bear back faster, steel bear to make iron bear tankier, cross promotions that you can increase that splash damage, means of destruction, when you're dealing splash damage, you have a chance to get ammo or a grenade back, vampire, you get health when you chuck grenades, and you get health back when you're doing damage in iron bear, explosive punctuation, when you're dealing splash damage, you're going to get iron bear back faster, and short fuse. Deal gun damage, you have a chance for an explosion that'll do more damage. Now as far as your action skill, my two favorite ones that I've found for this build have been the Vanquisher rocket pods, lock on for when you're mobbing, as well as the railgun. But again, this is personal preference. Feel free to experiment and see which action skill works best for you. Now onto the inventory. Start with, of course, the flipper. What the Sandhawk was for Borderlands 2, the flipper pretty much is for Borderlands 3, especially with this build. You're just going to be shredding things with this if you're holding down the trigger. Same with the light show, you're going to be doing a ton of extra splash damage given the amount of projectiles this thing is able to shoot out. The back burner, again, because of splash damage, you're going to get into the millions of damage with back burners. Also have a corrosive one and a shock one in the backpack so that if you need to change up the elements, you got that as a backup option, as well as a backup flipper too. And lastly, the Monarch. Again, like the light show, you're going to be doing a ton of splash damage with all the projectiles, and it's just a nice weapon to have. But if you want an assault rifle that's more refined in focus, I have an M10 Soul Render. That's another good one that I ended up really liking. Now onto shields, grenades, and mods. Your shield, you got the Transformer. This makes you immune to shock damage. It's a really good one for Mayhem 10. As well as this Anoint on action skill end. Your cooldown rate is increased by 20% for a short time. So you will get Iron Bear really fast with this shield equipped, as well as all of the skills you already have. Decided to go with the legendary Transfusion for the grenade, specifically because it has the ability to heal shield if you hit an enemy that has shield. You're already going to be good on the health point because of all the lifesteal that you're going to be doing with this build. But if you want to get some shield back, this is a nice thing to have in the middle of an engagement. For class mods, there are two. Pretty much how you want to rock this build is you want to use these mods depending on the situation. If you're going against basic enemies and mobbing, you want to have the Sapper. If you want to go up against bosses, Minesweeper. Minesweeper will absolutely just shred on bosses, and you're just going to see chunks of health bars just disappear if you have this thing equipped. So remember, Sapper for enemies, Minesweeper for bosses. And last but not least, of course, the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. I lucked out and was able to get these anoints on my first try when DLC 2 first came out with that good old regen 272 health as well as mag size. But yeah, you're hitting your enemy, they're going to die quickly if you're hitting your hits back to back. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm going to head into a bunch of bosses and engagement, be chucking on different Mayhem 10 modifiers whenever I head into a new zone. And let's see how good this build does. And of course, with the name Big Blast Sonic, there's only one song that's perfect for the montage. So let's rock.
One day I noticed that my life was broken. It was not me who was controlling this body. Oh, I want to know what's really real to me before it vanishes like a wave. Get on the run. afraid to listen to your own heart. Big Blast Sonic, that's my heart beating you. One day I noticed that the world was broken. Spoiled out hell, we had our senses down. Oh, I would see this whole world falling blue. Not this space marched in black. Hey, get up to rock, get up to burn. Stand with the pride, I'll be the ways to make it. You must have heard it. Grasp the truth, hold it high, raise your voice, that's how you start a new thing. You must have heard it now. Don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. Big Blast Sonic, that's my heart beating you. In the eyes, Big Blast Sonic, that's my heart beating you.
Save file for Big Blast Sonic Moze will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Special shoutouts to the Borderlands Discord and Reddit for helping me get items and advice on how to optimize the build. I've never made Borderlands 3 content before, so I'm trying something new, so please be gentle in the comment section. I just love Borderlands 3, and if this video helps in any capacity to get someone back into the game or help someone get a gun they're looking for, then I'm glad I could help and I'm doing my part. Thank you again, stay safe, and have a blessed day. Laters.